Fruity, 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 fruity.
Greetings, my lovelies. Hello, it's Emmy. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be eating durian. If you're unfamiliar with durian, durian is a fruit very popular in Southeast Asia, and what makes it very distinctive is its smell. Some call it putrid, some call it odoriferous, some call it straight up stinky, foul, and bad. So today I'm going to be eating one. If you like these kinds of fruity fruit videos, be sure to check out the playlist where you can see some more interesting fruits. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. So I recently went to Boston and stopped into Chinatown and went into the supermarket there and found a frozen durian. This weighs a little over 7 pounds and it was $3.99 a pound. So it worked out to be about $28. So not exactly inexpensive fruit by any means. It comes in this netted bag. It is actually quite dangerous. It's very sharp. This is imported from Thailand. So you can thaw this out a few different ways. You can just let it sit on the counter like overnight. It takes a long time. So what I did was I placed this into a tub of cool water for about an hour and a half. So it still might be frozen in the middle, but I've read that it might be easier to actually scoop out the flesh that way. So we'll go ahead and see. So we'll pull this back, and it's actually a very interesting looking fruit. Look at that. This looks a little bit similar to jackfruit, but the spikes are much spikier. If you haven't seen that jackfruit video, it's in that playlist. It's so cool. It looks prehistoric or something. I love it. So the way that this fruit is structured, there are lobes of custardy fruit. Kind of see that through the spiky shell. So I think there's one lobe here, one lobe here, one lobe here. So I should mention that I don't smell any odor as of yet, but when we open this, that may very well change. From here to here is a lobe. So I'm going to cut here and make a little wedge and see if I can get the fruit out. Ooh, it actually cuts a lot easier than you might expect because it's so armored. But you don't want to go too deeply because you don't want to cut the fruit if you can avoid it. Alright, so now I'm going to lift this up to reveal the fruit. Awesome! Look at that! Doesn't smell bad at this point. It is still frozen inside, but I've heard it actually makes it a little bit easier to get out in one piece. All right, now I'm using a spoon to kind of wedge it out. So there's one piece. And then here is its mate. So that is the cavity. So all of that is actually frost because it's still frozen inside. So here is my prepared durian. And as it's thawing, it definitely has a pronounced sulfurous, cheesy smell to it. Strong, very strong. And I imagine this is going to get stronger as it thaws out. This is not the first time I've had durian. I've had it twice, once as a child and once as an adult when I was visiting Thailand and I had it fresh. And I didn't remember detesting it, but I didn't really love it either. So it's been many years since then. So let's give this a taste. So it has this beautiful color. It almost looks like scrambled eggs and a very, very soft texture. Look at that. Just creamy. From what I've seen, people just grab this and they just eat it with their hands, but I'm going to kind of dissect this a little bit so I can show you what's inside. Inside here is a pit. And pull this back and you can see the pit inside here. A very large seed in there. And there should be another one here as well. But look at the soft texture. Isn't that incredible? All right, let's give that a go. Itadakimasu. Wow. It's not really my favorite. It's not disgusting by any means, but it's an interesting clash of almost savory and sweet flavors for me. Imagine sweet guacamole. That's what this tastes like to me. It has a really unctuous, creamy, beautiful texture to it. Really soft, like guacamole, and creamy. And it's oniony and kind of garlicky, but it's very, very sweet, like custard, like a dessert. So sweet and oniony, and that oniony, garlicky kind of flavor is quite lasting. Like even now I can taste the onion flavors in that. For me, definitely an acquired taste because it overlaps the boundary for me of savory and sweet in a way that's curious. Because some of this is still frozen, this is a little bit cool, and I quite like that. I like the cool effect of it. It almost makes it more like an ice cream dessert. If I can get over the fact that this is very sweet kind of onion, it's actually pretty good. I think the textures are really, really lovely. Very rich and unctuous. Again, the most similar thing I can equate it to is something like an avocado. It has that same kind of soft texture and just vegetal richness that's very, very satisfying. So if I can just set aside my onion flavor bias for just a moment, this is actually quite delicious. It's very, very sweet, but I think what's so signature about it is this creamy, creamy, rich texture. It's almost like a natural custard. You just open the thing up and you've got instant custard. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you guys learned something. Do share this video with your friends and follow me on social media, and I shall see you in my next video. Toodaloo, take care, bye!